What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Creative. Go ahead, say it with me. We are back at it again to do what? To create something great. Now, I hope y'all have been having a wonderful day so far and a fantastic Thanksgiving. What I have planned for you all today is something that is really great, and I'm really excited to be able to not only bring you this new zero DTE strategy, but being able to design it from start to finish. My name is Creative, and here at Creative Coder, we strive to be able to build new algo strategies, right? Using Python in addition to being able to use Cursor or Claude Code with inside Cursor, but I feel like I'm stumbling all over the place right now. But nonetheless, my name is Creative. I've been coding since about, I'm going to say April of this year. So not that long, right? And I wanted to be able to bring you all my process to see how I go from being able to build a strategy from start to finish. I feel like I'm rambling on a bit, so I'm just going to go ahead and get started. What I'm going to be using is Claude Code with inside Cursor. My fault. There we go. Y'all just give me. All right. I'm going to be using Claude Code with inside Cursor. But first, I want to use ChatGPT to be able to flush out a couple of ideas that we have. So first, let's go ahead and start the context. Again, what we're building is a zero DTE strategy for XSP. Excuse me. You can say that 10 times, right? XSP is the mini SPY, and SPY is the S&P 500. It's the top 500 companies within the New York Stock Exchange. And the reason we're going to be using XSP is that's the mini version of SPY, right? And there's a lot of advantages and a lot of little shortcuts that I've noticed that many people aren't using when it comes to being able to design an algo build. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So what I want to do, let's just go ahead and set the stage, right? So can you explain what is XF, if I can do this right, XFP, like I'm 12, but in a non condescending nor demeaning way, and ensure to explain if it's on the NYSE, NASDAQ, so we can properly understand it. All right, perfect. So what is the XSP? Think of the S&P 500 as a giant team of the 500 biggest companies in America. Now think of a index option as a ticket that lets you bet on whether the whole team will go up or down. XSP is basically a mini version of the S&P 500 index. XSP is a mini SPX option. SPX is the main S&P 500 index option. The XSP is 1/10 the size of the SPX. Now think of SPX as a big pizza and XSP as one of the personal size pizzas, right? Same taste, smaller size, easier to handle, and less money needed. Okay, but what exactly is it, right? So XSP is an option product that is not a stock or ETF. So you don't have to buy shares of XSP, you trade options on it. So options let you trade the S&P 500 movement, right? But with smaller contract values and the lower buying power requirement and cash settlements, so no shares are involved. So what does XFP trade, right? So XFP is not listed on the NYSE or the NASDAQ. That's where the stocks and ETFs trade. Instead, XFP is listed on the CBOE. So CBOE is the Chicago Board of Option Exchange. So it is not NASDAQ. It is not the New York Stock Exchange. CBOE is a big exchange where where most U.S. indexes options live, like SXP, VIX, or RUT, right? And then we have why traders use XSP. Goodness gracious, I feel like I should find a better way to say that. So my fault if I'm stumbling over XSP. And I'm not enunciating that as well. But nonetheless, I hope you're understanding. If there's any questions, you can stop me, let me know, and I'll definitely do best job I can to be able to assist you with that. But let's keep going. So XSP is expensive. XSP is 1/10 the size. So same options, right? So monthly, weeklies, and zero DTEs. This is where we're going to be hanging out at. All right, so we understand XFP, right? So XFP is just the smaller version of SPY. SPY is the S&P 500, the top 500 companies within the New York Stock Exchange. So what we're going to be doing is I'm just going to pick an indicator from TradingView, and we're going to allow that to be the basis of how we're going to design this strategy out. So what I want to do is, let's just be a little bit on the nose, right? Let's just put best, and let's see what populates. All right. So again, the community has built indicators that we can use in order to design algo strategies, right? And what is an algorithmic strategy? It's just a set of rules and instructions that we're going to design to allow our bots to be able to buy and sell XFP, right? And that's going to be the underlying asset that we're going to use. All right, so let's continue. So we see best trend. Let me just zoom in a bit just to make sure y'all can see. If you can, all right, beautiful, you can, all right. So I have best super trend CCI. I have best trend direction helper. Let's see which one stands out. Best super trend strategy. Best super trend MA. I don't know, for that reason, let's see. Best super trend MA. So I'm going to choose that one. And then the way we open it up, we're going to see these brackets here. So we're going to select on source code. And then it's going to pull up the source code for us. All right, so let's just go ahead and take a look at it. Best super trend MA. MA is moving average. And then it has its plots here. The moving average component, SMA, WMA, SMA. So it's looking like it's using the weighted moving average, the simple moving average, and the exponential moving average. If I could just find the periods. And periods are just the lengths, right? It looks like it's using a couple moving averages, excuse me. RMA, SMA, EMA, WMA, VW, goodness gracious, TWMA. All right, so what I want to do, let's just I want to copy first. Let me go ahead and go and open up a session with Claude Code so we can get that up and running. So open up a folder, hit new. I'm just going to put XFP. What I want to do first is also get the command to open up Claude Code. All right, open up that folder. I'm not using Cursor's AI. We're going to be using Claude Code. And this is the way I open it up. I haven't found another way to be able to get this tablet, this little thing here to populate. So that's fine. I'm going to delete the file. And what we're going to be using is Opus 4.5. So we're going to hit enter. Now what we're going to do, I want to set the stage, right? So what I want to say is, what do you know about option algo strategies? Let me try to spell it. Okay, whatever. All right, here we go. I have knowledge about the common option algorithmic strategies. Here are a few that it knows. All right, perfect. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to go back and copy our Pine script and then paste it here. And then review the following script for a base that we are going to use for a XFP 0 DTE algo strategy. Explain like we're 12 without being condescending nor demeaning. Make sure we properly understand how this works and how it triggers bearish or bullish signals. Oh, already pasted. All right, perfect. Now let me paste that. All right, beautiful. So while that's outputting, let me just make sure my levels are good. There's no errors. All right. This is a TradingView Pine script that combines two popular indicators to generate buy-sell signals. Let me break it down. What the script does, it has two alarm systems working together. the moving average crossover, the trend detector. Two lines track the price, a fast one, the moving average 1, orange, and a slow one, the moving average 2, blue. The bullish signal, the green triangle up. So the fast line crosses above the slow line, and then the price momentum is turning up. And for a bearish signal, red triangle down, the fast line crosses below the slow line, and then we have the price momentum is turning down. So think of it like this, right? We have a fast line that is like a rabbit and a slow line that is a turtle. When the rabbit passes the turtle, the uphill going uphill, buyers are in control. So super trend, the trailing stop. So this is a thick green red line that hugs the price's action. Oh, excuse me. It uses ATR, which is the average true range, to set the distance, from the price, basically measuring how jumpy the market is. How signals trigger bullish if the MA crosses above the MA2 and the super trend flips green. For the bearish, the MA crosses below MA2 and then the super trend flips red. The super trend line only updates its trailing level when the moving average crossover occurs. See line 95 to 98, This is a hybrid part that doesn't trail continuously, only on the crossover events. So for your XSP 0 DTE strategy, this gives you a directional bias. When you see a green triangle plus the super trend, you look for call entries. When we see the red triangle plus the red super trend, we're gonna look for put entries. Want me to explain any specific part or dive deeper? All right. Now let's go a bit deeper for the triggers. We are going to be using 1 minute data. 1 minute data. So let's begin with discussing the periods that would be appropriate here. All right, perfect. And if y'all do have any questions while I am working, please let me know. Trying to do two things at once. Perfect. There we go. All right, great question. The default periods, that's too slow for 20 minutes over 50 minutes for the moving average. 3 and 3 minutes for the super trend was designed for higher time frames. On 1 minute, they'll behave differently. Default 20 minutes, 50 minutes, and 3 minutes. You'll get whipsaw consistently, false signals every few minutes. For the moving average, 9 to 15. Excuse me, hold on. Appreciate your patience. All right, 9 to 15 represents 10 to 15 minutes of momentum. 45 to 65 represents 1 hour of trend. That's super slow. Or anchor the market structure, 30, 195. Consideration for 0 DTE. The market has distinct phases. We understand that from 9:30 to 10, we have the opening morning chaos, wide ranges. From 10 to 11:30, we have the morning chop. From 11, but we're not trading. We're only trading from, all right, here's what I'm thinking, because that is entirely too slow. So what I'm going to do is MA1. MA1, I'm thinking 8 for the EMA, and then MA2 Wait, that's still too fast. Too slow. I'm sorry. Checking 3, and then MA2. I'm thinking equals 5. So 3 minutes. So okay, 3 minutes and 5 minutes, and then the super trend factor for the super trend factor equals. Let's start a little bit more aggressive, and then for the super trend PD equals. Let's do 8. This is where we're thinking about starting a session for this strategy is going to be from 9:30 a.m. Excuse me. I don't want to cough in your ear. 9:33 a.m. to 11:08 a.m. Only one trade per day. Let's work this part out before we proceed. All right, perfect. And if y'all, all right, interesting choices. Let me break this down. 3 minutes of data, 5 minutes of data, very tight to price. Oh, so I have to, okay, I need you to explain that part. 8 minutes of average true range. So only 2 minutes separate between them. Will cross very consistently during very volatile markets, 9:33 to 10 a.m. especially. You might get 5 to 10 crossovers in your 95-minute window. Extremely tight, basically hugging the price, the ATR. Okay. Can you explain the super trend again and how it works so we can properly gauge how to start the parms? Yeah, because that's one thing that I'm having questions about. Oh, you know what I was thinking about too? Is a longer. Okay, because I was just working on another strategy earlier. It was RSI, but I think it still proves the point that we can use longer periods for our slow, um, for our slower MA. Okay, of course, let's break it down. So the super trend formula. So the up band equals the price minus the factor times ATR. This is the average true range. And then the down band equals the price plus the factor times average true range. That's it. Two bands around the price spaced by the ATR, average true range, multiplied by your factor. What is ATR? Average true range measures how much your price moves on an average around X bar. On 1 minute XSP, if ATR is 8 and it equals 0.5, this means price typically moves around 50 cents per minute over the last 50 cents per minute over the last 8 minutes. How the bands work, how the bands work, say XSP is at 590, ATR equals 0.5 and the factor of 1.2. The up band is 590 minus the 1.2 times 50 equals 589, and then the down band equals 590.60. So in an uptrend, the price rides above the up band 589 and acts as a trailing stop. And then in the down band, the price rides down the down band and 590 acts as the ceiling. So support and resistance. The factor control 1.2 stops you out on small wiggles. Normal pullbacks, loose major reversals, flip. Okay, so we want to be in the twos, not in the ones. So I was wrong in thinking that, okay, if I start in the ones, it'll be a little bit more aggressive, but that's more tighter. We want to be a little bit more medium, not as loose. So maybe like 2.8. That's where I'm going to start. So the period, the control, 3 to 8 is very recent volatility. Reactive adjusts fast to the spikes. 14 to 21, smooths out the average, more stable, less jumpy. Visual example, the price goes from 590, 591, 595, 589, 588 with the factor of 1.2, ATR of 0.5. Band at 589, price dips at 589 still above the buying, still bullish. If the price hits at 588 below the band, flips to bearish. With a factor of 2.5, ATR 0.5, bands at 588.75, price hits 588, still above the band, still bearish, more room to breathe. For your windows, the opening ATR is typically 2 to 3 times higher than midday. So at 9:33, an ATR 8 might read 0.1 to 1.5 on XSP. With the factor of 1.2, the band distance equals 1.44 from the price. So that's very tight from the open. Only 2 points pullback, totally normal, flips your signal. Suggest this is fine, but we want to start a little bit more aggressive. All right. So let's start with 2.8. So let's start with 2.8. That's fine. And then 3, 12. I'm going to do 3, 3, and 8. So, and also MA1 equals 3 and MA2 equals 8. All right. Now let's lay this out and talk about how the signal is confirmed before we enter either in a call or put position. I should really put a limit on the tokens because, oh, you know what I need to also keep track of is this usage, because this Opus model does use a lot, but I'm noticing it's not that much lately. So they've done a good job on maybe to make sure you can use it, but it's not going to eat up all your tokens. All right. The momentum trend, the momentum, and then we have the trend, and then we have 2.8, a comfortable buffer from the price. The ATR is going to be starting at 8 for the period. This is our session. This is our trades. The script has 2 independent signals that need to agree. For step 1, for a bearish signal, the moving average 3 needs to cross above the moving average 8. And then for a bearish signal, the moving average 3 need to cross below the moving average 8. This is the entry queue minus the momentum shifting. Step 2 is the trend. Got you. This is the confirmation. The bullish confirmation. The price is above the super trend line and is green. The price is for bearish. The price is below the super trend line and is red. This confirms the trend environment and supports your direction. So this is how we get in. MA3 crosses above MA8. The price is above the super trend line. Time, no trades taken yet. Enter a call. For a put, beautiful. What if the first signal is conflicting? We wait for the next cue or we skip the day entirely. Okay, what do you mean? What do you mean? Give me an example. 2, must the super trend already be green/red, or can it flip simultaneously with the MA cross? The script ties them together so they flipped often at the same time. We think that it can flip simultaneously. With the MA cross. So that is fine. 3, this is going to be our exits. So max hold time is going to be 2 minutes. Stop loss is going to be 14.8%. TP1. So we're only going to hold the trade for 2 minutes at a time. The stop loss lets us know if we're down 14.8% in the position, close the position immediately at the market price. Or if we hit take profit 1, and the take profit 1 level is going to be at 25.8. Take profit 2 level is going to be at 18.4, and then take profit 3 is going to be at should I do that? Let me just do 2. Yeah, let me just do 2. Wait, no, I want 3. Take profit 3 is going to be at 14.5. Perfect. And then we have our min delta of 0.12, and then 0.6, and then min premium of 0. Okay, and then our max premium, let's put it to 40. What else? Since we're here, let's do our starting balance. So one thing I want to be able to mention, this is not financial advice. If you do seek financial advice, please make sure you talk to a certified financial planner or those that are licensed in order to assist you with that. This is merely educational. So what I'm going to do is all of our strategies start with $100, because I want to be able to dispel the notion that you need thousands of dollars in order to trade options, and especially trading options algorithmically. That's going to be done automatically for us, right? So what we're doing right now is building out the strategy. We're building out the rules and instructions for the algorithm. So we talked about how the signal is going to trigger, right? So now we're talking about the risk management, the position sizing, how we're going to exit. And now I'm going to finish up the position sizing, right? So starting balance is going to be $100. So if balance is less than $4.99, we can use up to, let's do 84% of portfolio balance. If balance is between 500 and 1K, can use up to, let me try something different. 500 and 1.2K can use up to 44% of portfolio balance. And if balance is greater than 1.2K, can use up to 20% of portfolio balance. We exit on whichever condition happens first. No scaling out. Full exit. We are aiming for the higher TP, of course, but if TP3 hits, for example, then we exit. Full position. Now let's continue to discuss building this out. Now, keep your response to under 528 total tokens for your output response. Beautiful. Because I've noticed that one time this would spaz. So I want to copy this. Let's go ahead and come over to our whiteboard and then paste this here. All right, beautiful. Then come back here. All right, Gucci. All right, so at 9:45, the MA3 crosses above the MA8, a bullish trigger, but the price is still below the super trend. So the conflict, if the MA stays goes long, the super trend says we're still in a downtrend. Question: do we wait for the next cross that agrees or skip trading that day? So one question, we would skip that signal and keep scanning for other signals for the day. So we are limiting the strategy to only one trade per day. But if the signal trade per day and has until the end of the session to either trade or skip if conditions don't meet for the trade. All right, beautiful. Do you wait for the next cross? Okay, we already talked about that. Two, we have open interest and IV data that we want to use for the strike selection. So save that question until we lock up the parms for the strat, and we'll discuss a bit more. Entry is going to be limit orders. You'll see once we show you the reference backtest. And what is a backtest? The backtest is being able to test your strategy on historic data, and to see how well it performs. If it performs well in the past, then it's a high likelihood that it'll perform well in the future. Excuse me. Scan for the MA3, crosses over the MA8. Check if the super trend agrees in the same direction. If conflict, skip the signal. We're going to keep scanning. If agree, execute the trade, then done for the day. If session ends at 11:08 with no valid signals, then no trade. That's beautiful. This is our locked parameters. Let me go ahead and take this. Session 1 trade, limit orders, 2 minute, stop loss, full position on first condition, delta, premium, sizing. Okay, beautiful. Let me just go ahead and save these parms. So we're building out this strat, homie. We can always look back to it. I apologize. I'm not trying to cough in your ear. All right, let me go get the XSP. I'm just going to call it mini spy. And we're going to understand that mini spy is XSP, and that's mini spy. All right. Where is it? Beautiful. All right, here's the data. Let me give also the conda environment. Conda environment is where we house all the Python packages we may need for any option strategy we're going to be building using Python, in addition to using Claude Code. So let's keep going. Here is the data. Run a series of terminal commands in the conda environment to understand it. Then let's discuss a function / method that we can use to properly select the options based on the data we have available to us. Beautiful. So let's let that output. If y'all do have any questions, please let me know. Again, my name is Creative, and oh yeah, you do need me to go ahead and hit that. Also hit that. You should be Gucci. Let's go. I'm not gonna hold you. I am watching this Bama game live too, so I am paying attention. I'm trying to do 2 things at once. So y'all just follow me, man. Y'all follow me. Let's go. I'm still looking at the data. That's fine. It's still trying to get it. All right. Output should have been beautiful. Now we're going to talk about, oh, you know what I'm going to do as well? Let me just go ahead and get a reference back test. Let me get a reference back test. And here's a example of our backtest file, right? This is for an early worm strategy. This is for a 0 DTE SPY option momentum strategy, right? What it does it looks at the 1 minute chart from 9:30 to 11:15. So as you can see, all of our strategies, I like to do different times to be able to stagger their entries, right? Because sometimes I'll have like 10, 15, 20 plus bots running. So I don't want all of them entering at the market at the same time, right? Especially if I'm using 3 different brokers right now. We're using Tradier, Alpaca, and I'm super excited and I can't wait to get them open. But I just processed the application for Thinkorswim, right? Because I think it was Nadir, excuse me if I pronounce your name correctly, that told me on what was this, Friday or Thursday, last time I streamed here, that I didn't know. I thought I had an inkling, but I don't know. While I was doing my research, I didn't think that Thinkorswim had API, but comes to find out they do. So I just submitted an application to open them up. So hopefully, if they do, I'm excited to see if I can get most of our bots over to Thinkorswim and to see how that works. Because I was using IBKR to start, but when I say that's been a horrid example of or experience, excuse me, because running multiple bots, you want to be able to make sure that when they need the data, they can, when they want to be able to open up different positions, right? I have bots that trade QQQ. I have bots that trade SPY, right? I have bots that trade IWM. We're now creating a bot that's going to trade X mini SPY, right? So I want to be able to make sure that it has the information that it needs. So IBKR was just consistently crashing. All right, so that's enough about that. So this is this strategy. It looks at the 1 minute chart, right, from 9:30 to 11:15, and then it detects if the bar is two times bigger than the last 5 bars, right? Then that's our wave. So then it checks the volume as well. If the price is going up, we're going to buy a call. If the price is going down, we're going to buy a put. We're going to hold it for 5 minutes max. Remember, this strategy, we're doing 2 minutes, right? And this is the profit targets, and this is the stop loss, right? So what I want to do is bring this over as an example. This is written in Python, so if you want to see more of the code, right? So here's the strategy itself, right? So it's super dope. So that's, I'm going to use this as a reference. So I'm going to do, it's like, all right, perfect. Strike selection method, given the filters, the delta, the premium, and here's a proposed function, direction call, put, filter the option at the signal time. Okay. Apply your filters. Merge the open interest. Okay. Questions to refine. The open interest, OI, when you see OI is the open interest. So this lets us know how many people are currently holding the position. So the open interest preference minus the highest open interest equals more liquid. Do you want to weigh the IV2? The delta targets, do you want to lean towards? Okay, so let's answer these questions. 1, we think that maybe it'll make sense to weigh the IV as well, but let's have this as a toggle that we can turn on and off. And for the delta target, we are wanting the best one that if we can create a weighted system in a sense that will take the available option contracts that meet the target requirements, then pick the highest one that has the highest score. Does that make sense? 3, spread filter, max bid ask spreads you tolerate. We're thinking spread to start, but you'll see the reference backtest that will illuminate a bit more for you. Tennessee is up. I'm saying Tennessee, Alabama. I think, no, wait. I think Pavia and them boys did win. 17% chance for the U to make it. All right, got it. So the strike selection logic, the filter, meeting the requirements, scoring, the open interest, always on, the IV, we could toggle on and off, the delta proximity to the optimal target. We pick the highest score, open interest, the delta score. Question: when IV is high, do you want to prefer high IV, more premium, more potential movement, or low IV, cheaper? Okay, we want to be able to um, take the best option available. Now, that doesn't always mean the options with the higher IV. We want this to be data slash signal driven. So let's make sure there is no bias, and this can work automatedly without issues. Make sense? All right, beautiful. Beautiful gang, beautiful. All right, yes, makes sense. You want a scoring system to be objective and data driven, not biased towards high or low IV. Instead of assuming high IV is good and low IV is bad, we'll score based on the open interest. More liquid equals better execution. The delta, better risk reward. The spread, less tightness IV rank. Optional toggle where the IV sits relative to its own history, but not absolute. The system picks the best option that passes the filter. No hard coded preferences. The weighted determines liquidity. All right, ready to see the reference. Beautiful. All right, perfect. We're going to get to coding. I just really want to make sure I take my time to be able to build out this strategy. If you do have any questions during this process, please let me know. Again, we're going to get to the coding process. We're just building out the rules and instructions, and all of this is going to make sense once we actually start building out this backtest. Got it? Beautiful. Here is the reference backtest. Now, this is for another strategy. We are not taking any of the elements from this strategy. We are just reviewing what is relevant to us on how to create a backtest that will properly gauge how what we are developing will do. Got it? Now review using grep and awk. And these are just different ways to be able to search the file, so it doesn't have to just read the whole thing. It's a little bit more targeted way to search and read a file. To read the file, then let's discuss. You boys on one right now. These boys on one. Our well-organized backtest, key components relevant. We're going to load the Greeks. Excuse me. 2 minutes hold time, your TP. And then here's the tiers. Replace with the MA crossover plus the super trend. We're going to put the open interest and the IV scoring system. Same. Reuse. All right, your strategy. Should I start scaffolding the backtest with the tip dap for the Yes, yes, yes. Also, make sure we take the affordability check, the ending metrics, the rejection, if not, if a signal is not found, the detailed logging for when we are in a position, and the CSV outputs with the parms. Let's proceed to build this out. Let's call the backtest. What are we going to call this? Crossover mixtape. Crossover. Here's my mixtape. I'm going to call it mixtape. Mixtape bt.py. Then let's proceed with starting on 2024. All right, beautiful. Oh, you know what I also need is the steps taken. What also I'm going to start doing is being able to put down all the steps that we've take to be able to build out the strategy, right? So we can look back to say, okay, why did I make this decision? What made me choose this particular parameter, right? So we can keep track of it. And we're also going to make a mixtape. That was interesting. I'm gonna look at that mixtape back test journal.md. And this is where we're going to put all the results of our back test so we can see how the strategy done across all our different back tests that we're going to do. This is going to be like our scientific journal, for lack of better words, right? So we can keep track of everything that we're building here. So this is going to be the steps that we've taken in order to get to building out the strategy. And this is where we're going to keep our results for the back test. Beautiful. So we can stay organized. What I'm going to do is I have to do two things. Let me just put you here. We have to open up another terminal. Let's go ahead and you see how it says base here. So this tells me that the conda environment is not activated. So what we need to do is go ahead and activate our conda environment. Now it's activated because we see option baby there. Now let's go ahead and install all the requirements that we need. Beautiful. Now it's installed. We're Gucci and ready to go. What I'm going to do is just cheat a bit. We already know what the file name is. Oh, damn, that's not right. If I could spell Python, there we go. So that's ready to go when that's built. What we also need is our backtest folders so we can put our backtest results. So create a folder called backtest results. Within those folders, create 2024, 2023, 2023, and 2022. And within those folders, create V1 baseline. Beautiful. So we can stay organized. All right, Gucci. Here's our backtest folder. 1, 2, 3. I love it when you listen. Thank you. You'll be back more. Let me just set the stage now. All right. When we run the backtest, there are going to be corresponding files. We expect you to read and understand what version it is, properly create a folder if needed. This is how we want it. V1 version, V for version, and then underscore. Then you're going to look at what the parms are, then put it here. Example V2 RSI 50 EMA 3 EMA 2 tested. Got it? We'll let you know once we have the files that need to be moved and then filed away properly. Got it? Oh shit, it's reading the wrong backtest. Oh crap. No, see, now you're doing the most. All right, perfect. Now what I'm going to do, two things. You're not going to run. Before, we need a few things. We need you to update the following with the steps that we have taken to get to this point, from the discussion points to building out the strat. Make sure to include all steps up to this point so we can track it. Also, once done, oh, that's it. Beautiful. So that's good. Now I can go run our back test. Running our back test on 2024, we are loading our data. First, we're loading our Greek data. That's 17 million data points, 17 million rows. So it's going to take a few moments in order to load it, right? You try to do something 17 million times and let me know how long that takes you. Let's just look at our strategy real quick. Look at our back test while that loads. All right. Mixtape backtest engine for 0 DTE, mini spy options for a MA crossover plus a super trend strategy. This uses dual confirmation system with a MA crossover plus a super trend. Signals only valid when both agree on a direction. The parameters, the position sizing. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, so let's let this load. Here we go. Oh, crap. It was just about to run. Then it spazzed out. Review and let's fix the issue. All right, let's go look at the steps taken real quick while it's fixing that. All right, project the mini spy 0 DTE algo strategy, backtest file, the initial strategy discussion. We review the Pine script, the best super trend by David. Explain the two cores, the parameter selection. Step 3, we reviewed the session and the trade rules. Here's step 4, the exit. Step 5 was the position. Step 6, MA, the strike scoring system, and then the reference back test. We built the back test, and then now we're about to run it. Beautiful. All right, you fix that. Now we can go rerun it again. What I'm going to say, just so I can get it right again, double check and make sure good. Let's double check, homie. All right, beautiful. Because it was truncated before, and I wanted to get the screen good. Oh, you know what I also need? Okay. I see the issue. Oh, I'm glad I made it double check. Both need to be, the logic is correct. Both should be TZ aware and ET. The fix I made should work. Let's run it. Let's see. Let's see. Let us see. Getting our work in. I'm not gonna hold you, man. I kind of love streaming on a Saturday, especially Saturday evening, so we can just get our work in. There's really no rush. I'm not trying to. We're not competing that much with people. I don't know. Maybe. What do y'all normally do on a Saturday? Right? Maybe. I know it's not. Let me shut up. We're waiting for all right. We're waiting for our back test to load. All right, here we go. We are waiting for it to load. All right, here we go. And we have our back test running. So as you can see, if everything works, we'll see the balance grows. If we have a negative position, you'll see that. So we see everything here, right, with the back test. So let's just let it run and see how well it performs. So what I'm noticing, we're giving back way too much money. All right. So what I'm going to do, I have a couple of ideas that I'm going to do. Like we're going to do some parameter adjustment on the fly real quick. Because I'm noticing a few things. All right. Nope. I still want to keep the moving average 3 and 5. Let's try this. Let's try moving average. Okay, update MA1. No, let's keep MA2. Update, yeah, MA2 to 12. And then what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? And then stop loss to 16, and then max hold to 2.5, and then keep everything else the same. All right, beautiful. And I'm just going to let it run after that, and I'm not going to adjust it anymore. Hold on. Okay, MA2 16. All right, beautiful. Now let's let it run. Now let's run it. Let's rerun it. Who run this? Let's run it. And our back test is running on 2024. So we're testing our strategy to see how well it works on 2024. And the reason we're back testing, right, instead of just going straight to the bot, because I want to see how well this strategy works on past data. And if it works well in the past, there's a high likelihood that it'll work well in the future. All right, and it's loading. Here we go. And we're off. Oh, snap. You know what? I don't know why I just went all the way up. Oh, damn. That was worse. Okay, so that idea didn't hold. That idea didn't hold. You know what I'm going to do? MA2, go back to 8 and keep go back to 8 and keep everything else the same. Let's do that. Let's let it actually run, right, with the initial parameters, and then I'll adjust it accordingly. Yeah, let me let it run with the initial params. Let's stop. I'm not gonna. All right, let's just let it run. Let's let it run. 17 up, huh? That's crazy. It's like going to the movies and somebody just stopping, like before of it. So my fault. Let me just let it run, and then let's see how well this backtest performs. And again, sometimes it doesn't hit on the first time. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, right? But we're here to be able to work through this. So let's stay committed to our work, fam. So we've been through this a couple of times. You know how long this is going to take. Just a few more moments. Here we go. Here we go. Now, what are y'all noticing from the strategy, right? What are y'all noticing? What I'm seeing is that we're giving back too much money, fam. All right, this is not. It's like $1 away from being able to blow. All right, what I'm gonna do? Let's see if we have this here. Yep, it has everything. Perfect. What I want to do is, oh, it stopped out anyway. Perfect. It stopped out anyway. Okay. Oh, crapalola. I forgot it. There's that. My fault. All right, my fault, y'all. My fault. My fault. It does do. I forgot. It does split it up. My fault. So we're just gonna let this run. Let me just let it run because it split it up into validation and training period. So to let it run for the entire year, so we can see how well it performs, right? So we know what's going to happen already. So my fault, my fault. I folded here. I folded. I'll take that. I don't know. Maybe it's just weird that I'm like streaming at this hour. I don't know. I don't know, fam. But it doesn't take away from the great work we're doing. Yeah, I'm still new in this thing, bro. So I don't know, like all these little. I don't know. I'm not an expert, man. I'm still a noob. All right, so we know what's going to happen here. So I gotta figure out why it starts like wants to bring it up way the fuck. It looks promising, and then it goes. All right, we know what it's going to do, so let's just let that run. We know what that's going to do. All right, so we're just going to let it run. It's almost done. There we go. So let's just look at it real quick. It had 59 trades, day with no signals. Yeah, it was just horrid. What was the win rate? 37%. Yeah, just horrid. All right, let's let that go. Beautiful. All right, here we go. So let's see if Q2 or the validation is a little bit more favorable to us. Interesting. It's like barely surviving. Well, I don't know. That's deceiving, man. I don't know if I can trust it. I don't know. I mean, it's finding signals. It's not the fact that it's not active. We just have to adjust a few of the parameters now, such that like it's not flaking out. All right, so I see. Let's look at our marching orders. All right, beautiful. It's almost done. It's wrapping up. It's in December. Here we go. We have 37% and 46%. How bad? Horrible. All right. Review and use grep and awk terminal commands. Then update the backtest journal with performance for version 1. Then let's discuss. All right. All right. A flea flicker? Y'all really throw a flea flicker? When people get too fancy, man. All right, you don't need to spaz out, man. All right, y'all remember I need to go. Okay. Perfect. What it's doing right now, it's going to update the journal. And then once it updates the journal, we're going to start optimizing our strategy. Now I know that there's different there's Optuna, there's BT Optimize, right? That we can use, but I like to do it a little bit more manual so we can so we can see, okay, if we tweak this adjustment parameter here, right? Like if we move from moving average 3 to moving average 2, maybe to another moving period, what is the impact of it? So I like to be able to do it that way, a little bit more manual, so I can see what happens, so we can really understand our strategy. Really, really, really understand it. Whoa. And that's a sack. All right, perfect. No. We need, no. Like now, there is version 1 backtest in here. Move to 2024 V1 folder. Do not copy. We said move it. All right. The trades are timing out before moving enough. The TP 2.5 hold plus the low delta options are not generating enough momentum to hit TPs. What do you want to try for version 1.2? Really? Maybe let's try to be able to increase these delta, right? So let's go from 0.15 to 0.55, right? And what I also want to try, I only want to do like 2 things maximum. Let's try a super trend of 5 instead of 8 minutes. Instead of 8, let's do 5. Okay. And STPD of 5. Keep everything else the same. All right, beautiful. Let's see how this works out. Perfect. Let's go ahead and copy. What do y'all think? So what I've done is I increased the delta ranges, so we're not picking from the lowest of the low options available, right? So we're starting from $15 instead of or 15% probability instead of a 12, and then I dropped it a little bit here, and then I dropped the period from 8 to 5. So let's see how that works. Let's see how this works out. Now we're going to run our back test on 2024. And remember, what is a back test? A back test is being able to take your strategy, throw it in a time machine, and seeing how well it performs in a particular year. And the notion is that if it does well on the past data, it is a likelihood that it'll do well in future data. So we're running our strategy on our back test. We're using mini SPY, and SPY is the S&P 500, the top 500 companies in the New York Stock Exchange, to be able to see how this algo strategy is going to perform on this data. So I'm waiting for it to run, and it's loading 17 million rows. You try to do something 17 million times and tell me how long that takes you, right? So we just have to be a little bit patient while it's running. It takes about 2 minutes. All right, here we go. I can be quiet. Now our backtest is running. This is version 2. We've updated a few of the parameters, and let's see how well it performs. So right now it's at 149. All of our strategies start at $100, and right now it's oscillating between like, let me just shut up. Let's just wait. Let's see how well it performs. I don't know. It's kind of struggling right now. It's on the struggle bus. It's on the struggle bus. But I'm not going to. Okay, this is kind of deceiving. Then all of a sudden it just inflates. This is kind of deceiving. So one part of it is working, but another part of it, we're giving back way too much money, right? Because the highest we've seen was like, what, 213? Okay, let's look. We peaked at 229. Our win rate is 48%. We had 121 trades, but we're still giving back too much money. Our drawdown is 82%, right? So the strategy went from damn near $100 to what, $18? And the final was 44. That's kind of crazy. So we have a few more parameters that we need to adjust. So let's run our on the back half of 2024. I like to split it up to do testing and then validation. So for the first 6 months, we run a back test, and then for the last 6 months, we validate it just to be able to see how well it performs. So let's running it on the back half. So from what I'm seeing, okay, let's see how it runs on the back half, right? Some parts of it works, right? But there's other parts that we need to tweak in order for it to work well. Okay, so the high side scene. So, okay, never mind. Let me shut up. 300. Okay. All right, so we found something. Okay, are you going to cross 1,000? Get there. It just crossed 1,000. So that's crazy. So y'all just seeing live how the first 6 months, for lack of better words, was kind of horrendous, right? It wasn't. Damn it. You see, it's giving back way too much money. It's like it's okay to make money, man. All right. So we have a strategy that's kind of, sort of, maybe, probably on the legs of being able to work. We just have to adjust a few things, right? Because it's giving back way too much money for my liking. So we're on the verge, right, of being able to be there. All right, so let's look at the back half. A strategy went from $100 to 1,300, had 115 trades. Sharp ratio wasn't the best. The max drawdown was a lot better, so I can appreciate that. 60% win rate, so 6 out of every 10. Best trade was 233. Worst trade was 158. This could be a lot better, that ratio. But what I am happy about is this profit factor. I mean, it's kind of tight, right? So what a profit factor is, for every $1 we're losing, we're making about $1.63. So that's kind of tight. So it's okay. We're starting to build legs, right? So what I'm going to do is take this. Let's go back to Cloud Code. Let's drop it. And all I did, the only thing that I did do, excuse me, was adjust the delta parameter and then the super trend, right? Hold on, damn it. Review. Also review using grep and awk terminal commands to search, then update the journal, then let's discuss. All right, beautiful. We're getting somewhere, man. We are getting somewhere with this strategy. Now, I don't know if I'm going to make the bot today, because I kind of want to make this on Thinkorswim, right? Because remember earlier I told you I just submitted an app to open up a Thinkorswim broker account. So I want to make this bot on Thinkorswim. So once we get to that point, I don't know if I'm just going to wait until that Thinkorswim account is open, or just do it on I have Tradier and excuse me, Alpaca. I do have Tasty Trades, but Tasty Trades isn't going to work for what I wanted, how I want to use it, because Tasty Trades doesn't allow for paper trading, right? So it's either going to be Alpaca or Tradier. I don't know. We'll make that decision when we get there. Let's take care of what's in front of us. And if y'all do have any questions about how I got here, right? I am keeping a step-by-step list on what we did, right? So the first step, we got the, we got the strategy from PineScript, from TradingView. Okay, hold on, let me shut up. Let's come back here real quick. All right, so version 1, this will happen version 1. The final balance was $12. Return was -88, right? Win rate was 42%, and the TP hit was 28, right? Just with these two things that I adjusted, it went from $12 to 1,300. Our return is over 1,200%, right? So what we found out is that the Super Trend 5 plus the Delta is a massive improvement. More trades are hitting the higher win rate. Concerns is that we're still losing money in the first half of the year, while the second half of the year made money, but that was kind of deceiving, right? Because it was giving back, it was making, giving back, making, giving back. What I want to do is okay, hold on. Let's file this away. Review the main, review the code base. There are new files to put away again. Create the proper folder, then make sure to file away in 2024. So let's see to make sure that it does it correctly, because bruh. All right, perfect. Perfect. So we're going to use one AI to build it out, then another AI to be like our admin assistant. So I just want to make sure that it does it correctly. All right, beautiful. All right, beautiful. All right, perfect. So it did what I needed you to do. So I can close you out. So what we did is we adjusted our parameters here, right? So now what I want to do is let's test out a few more things. What do you think? We have a super trend factor of 2.8. What if we drop the from 2. No, let me keep that. What I really want to try is, all right, let me try that now so I can just get it out the way. I want to try different moving average periods, because I noticed that there's one period that was kind of working before for another strategy. I want to see if it works here. So let's try MA1 to be 2 and MA1 to be 2 and then MA2 to be 12. Now follow me. This was a hack for another one of my strategies, right? And it performed extraordinarily well. So let's see if this works here. So what this says is that if the moving average 1 crosses over the moving average 2, right? We have above it, we have a bearish signal. Excuse me, a bullish signal. So we're going to enter into a call. If it goes below it, we have a bearish signal. I'm going to enter into a put. And keep everything else the same. Then let's update the steps taken. All right, beautiful. So we're gonna get that updated. I just wanted to do update two things at a time. The steps taken, so it's gonna be like a log of everything that we did, so we can keep track of it, so we can understand why we did it. All right, so let's clear. Let's paste it. All right, this is going to be version 2, really version 3 of our back test. Do y'all think it's going to be higher or lower? Go ahead and write in the comments if you think it's going to be higher or lower based on what we've done and why, if you don't mind me asking. So let's see if it's going to be higher or lower. And again, it takes about maybe a few moments to be able to load the initial back test. Let me make sure you did it. Okay, perfect. It takes a few moments to load the initial back test. Because it's loading 17 million rows of data, right? So just give it a bit. But once it loads and it's ready to go, it just flies through it. All right, well, okay, perfect. I shut up. Here we go. All right. Didn't I tell you? Let me shut up. Let me shut up. Let me shut up. Let's wait and see. Interesting. I'm still noticing, again, period 1. We're still, I don't know, we're still fighting an uphill battle. Yeah, period 1, like this first half of the year, still fighting an uphill battle. You know, like it'll show you little peaks, but then these valleys, like could be real valleys. So I want to figure out what's the problem there. So let's look at this real quick. It's kind of deceiving, right? You're looking at a 50% win rate. That's kind of like, look what it gave you, right? 50% win rate. It started at $100, but then it got down to 71. Our drawdown is 73. Still kind of bad. Best trade $31. Worst trade 68. So it's way underperforming. So let's check the back half of the year and let's see what we've done. If did that make any improvement to the back half of the year? I mean, we're seeing good trades though, but I don't know. Like we have to really look at the numbers and see what the data is telling us. All right, running it on the back half of the year. And again, if y'all do have any questions, please let me know. My name is Creative. All right, here we go. Running on the back half of the year. My fault. And see, it doesn't force trades, right? If it can't find a signal, it lets us know there's no signal. I don't know. It just went from 700 to 1,000, but like I wanted to like maintain it. I'll see how much money is given back though, right? We saw it cross $1,000, but it's hovering over 600. So we just gave back $400 back to the market. That's crazy. This is kind of deceiving though. All right, I'm gonna keep it. I like 212. 212 is going to be where we're going to stay at. Now we just need to adjust it a bit. Look, okay, damn. I told you it's, look, bro, 50, 63. I told you 212, man. So if you're looking for periods to start at, 212 is not bad. I'm telling you, 212. Review, update, journal. Then let's discuss. All right. So what are y'all thinking next? I'm thinking that maybe I have to adjust the stop loss or the take profit, or excuse me, stop loss or the max hold at this point. Because, or should we run it on 2023 to get a baseline? I don't know. Questions that needs answers. QTNA. I think maybe I'll run it on 2023 to get a baseline before we start adjusting, and then I'll use the results from 2023 to start adjusting the oh shit, should I just okay, I'm gonna do it one more time, maybe two more times on 2024, and then we're gonna run it again. Then we're gonna run it on 23 after after two more versions. So we now just finished up version 2. It should be version 3. All right. So we just finished up version 2. We're working on version 3. All right, final. So we went from $12 to 13 to 1,700. This was 3.838. This is 212 for the moving average, right? So first moving average is 2. Second moving average is a 12 period. 2 minutes, 12 minutes. So when the 2 crosses above the 12, that's a buy signal for a call. When it crosses below the 12, that is a buy signal for a put. Does that make sense? All right, beautiful. Let's keep going. Win rate improved. Okay, damn. Look from 28 to 42. Time stop. Average P&L. We need to get that a lot higher. So the 10-bar gap beats the 5-bar gap. Each version is improving across all metrics. H1 improved from negative 55 to negative 29. It's still negative though. H1 is still negative. H2 was bullish. We need to test on 22 and 23. The time stop is still 57%. So do you want to test? No. No. I like 212. Proceed to find the new files and file it away in 2024. This is version 2, 3. 1, 2. This is version 3. This is crazy. All right, thank you. All right, I appreciate you doing your job. All right, so let's see what we're going to adjust now. So what we adjusted before was the moving average periods, right? Instead of having a 5-bar gap from 3 to 8, we have a 10-bar gap now. So this works a lot more in our favor. I'm really want to be able to adjust this. So I think that's what I'm going to do. We're going to go from 2.8, maybe drop this down to 2.2. And then what do I want? I only want to do 2 things at a time, right? Because I want to see, okay, what's the correlation? What happened? I really want to drop this as well. Okay, you know what I want to do? I want to drop the super trend factor from 2.8 to 2.2, and then I'm also going to increase the premium from 0.4 to 0.5. All right, so let's see how that works. All right. All right, let's update the super trend factor from 2.8 to 2.2, and then update the, I just said it. Oh, premium. Update the premium from 0.4 to 0.5 and keep everything else the same. Then update the steps taken. All right, beautiful, man. I love when everybody's working and doing what they need to do. But I hope y'all had a fantastic Thanksgiving, right? Spent time with family. All that was Gucci. I had a great time. I'm not gonna hold you. Thank you for asking. All right, update the steps taken. Okay, beautiful. All right, so this is our next update. We've updated the super trend factor from 2.8 to 2.2, and then the premium from 40 to 50. So let's see how that works out. What I'm looking for is to see if our version 1, right, excuse me, our training period, the first 6 months, performs a lot better than what it's been doing. And then our validation period, the last 6 months, it holds performance, right, if not gets a little bit better. So let's check it out. So what do you think is going to happen? Is it going to get better or worse? Go ahead and type it in the comments. Let me know what you think. Let's make this a bit more interactive. If you think this is going to get better or worse from based on what we've done. Do you have any option trading history, right? What do you know about trading options, right? What do you know about building algos, right? What do you know about back testing? All right, this is loading. Go ahead and close that out. All right, beautiful. Now let's run it. And again, what we're looking to see if the first 6 months I needed to improve its performance. Holy shit. Y'all saw that? But stop giving back too much money, bro. It's okay to hold the bag, bruh. It's okay to hold the bag. Come on. Come on. Come on. My fault. Y'all saw that? It went from 700. Now it's at 283. It's giving back way too much money. This drawdown is going to be super high. What's that, bro? Drawdown is still 86%, man. The peak was at 827. It barely finished at 150, bro. I mean, yes, better, but we can do better. We can do better. I mean, it did improve. I'm not going to hold you, right? Because remember, it was negative and now it's finally positive. But I feel like it can do better. So let's see how the last 6 months work out. Like, is it going to maintain its levels? Is it going to get better? Let's check it out. Let us check it out. So what do y'all think about this so far? Are y'all liking this? Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, man. I really do appreciate y'all sticking around. All right, so let's see how it works out for the last, my fault. For the back half of these 6 months and see how it works out. And again, I love it, the fact that it doesn't force signals. I just want it to not give back so much money. Let's see if it maintains. Let's see if it maintains. See, it's giving back too much money. I think. Oh shit! It just crossed 3,000. I just blinked and it crossed 3,000. That's crazy, fam. Did y'all see that? I blinked and it just crossed 3,000. It's at 4 right now. Damn. Yeah. Again, this normally doesn't happen this way, I don't know what it is. Maybe I need to start streaming on Saturdays more. Like it normally doesn't happen this way, bro. Like I don't want to make it seem like, oh, I'm pulling y'all chain. No, it normally doesn't happen this way. Like I normally have to go through like 5, 8 iterations, right? Or I'm just getting better. I don't know. Review, and let's update the journal, and let's discuss. Beautiful, man. This is what's up. Like we are, before I even get to tested it on 20. Now remember, I'm going to do one more iteration, one more little parameter update, because I still have another idea that may help out with us giving back all this money, right? What I'm thinking about is increasing the maximum hold time, and then maybe, or maybe I should just tighten the stop loss. I want to keep the maximum hold time like 2.5. I think that's like super, super, super good, bro. Because we're holding it for 2 minutes maximum, and either the position is going to move for us or against us, right? We're doing 0 DTE. So what does that mean? These are options contracts that expire the same day. So we have hours, not days, right? Yeah, first profitable H1. Told you. Oh, look at that. Arbin got into the end zone, man. That's what's up. All right, so y'all see the progression, right? Went from $12, laughable, to 1,700. Now we're at 4,200, right? H1, negative 86, negative 29. Now we finally made $51. Win rate, 42, 57, 59. Look at this, negative $1. Now we're making like $7. Now we're at 17, a little bit more. Plottable, all right. Calls, okay. A little bit more parity. H1 is now finally profitable. The first version makes money in a training period. It went from 100 to 42.92. It's 42x the return. It's near directional split, not just riding the bullish bias. What made the difference is the profit factor. The 2.2 was 2.8. The tighter bands catch trends earlier, and the premium of 0.5, the higher delta options, is more responsive. The critical test, before we test it on, again, I have one more idea. I have one more idea. All right, let's think about this. What we just updated was this super trend, right? Should I lower it a little bit more? Should I try 1.8? Because I'm tempted to try 1.8. Also, I want to make the stop loss a little bit tighter. Because that's 16%. I still kind of I want to drop it down to 14, right? Okay. So I'm thinking that's what we're going to do. Oh, no, I'm not gonna touch that yet. All right, that's what I'm gonna do. So we're gonna drop the stop loss to 0.14, and then I'm gonna drop the super trend to 1.8. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. All right, bet. All right, let's drop the drip. Let's drop the stop loss to 14.3%, and then the super trend factor from 2.2 to 1.8, and keep everything else the same. And then after this is the last one I'm running on 24. Then we'll run it on 23. Should have said fuck. Update the steps taken. All right, beautiful. So the steps taken is being updated. Do the same for the next files. All right. What I need is, I need you. All right, beautiful. You're awesome. I thank you. We're gonna clear that out. Python. All right, running our back test. This is version 4. So what do y'all think? Is the first 6 months, are we finally going to see improvement? Is there going to be a bigger leap? Are we going to be, oh, y'all didn't get into the end zone? I just scored. Oh, that sucks for you. I could have sworn Auburn just got it to the end zone, but I guess they took it away. That sucks. That shucks. Then we have Virginia that's up 17-0. Excuse me, 24. They just scored. 23. Still got to make the kick, but whatever. All right, here we go. Let's see how it works out. Let's see how it works out. What are y'all seeing? What are y'all seeing? Because everybody sees something different, right? What I'm noticing, I don't know. I think it's still too early. Let me just wait. Let me wait. What are y'all seeing though? Still giving back. I don't know. It's like I want to say it's giving back, but it's like it's surviving a little bit. I don't know. This is kind of I don't want to see. I don't want to celebrate too early. It's like there has to be something else that I'm not seeing. Then it goes insufficient. That's crazy for you, kid. Or oh, I dropped. It peaked. Okay. Maybe that's not. Maybe 2.2 is not where it's at. Maybe 1.8 is not where it's at. Maybe I need to go back to 2.2. Yeah, I think I'm going to go back to 2.2. Let's see. Maybe we need to go back to 2.2 because 1.8 is probably just a little bit too tight. Probably is just a bit too much. I gather. All right, we're running on the back half. Let's see if it holds performance. Let's see if it's able to maintain its dominance on the back half of the year. Now remember, we saw it crossed over to 4,000. I'm really going to watch because I just blinked. I just was trying to do something else, and it went from like $400 to like 3,000. Like, damn, hell of a trade. Okay, see? I don't know. This is kind of, I don't know. Do y'all think should I just test it, keep it at 1.8 and just test it on test 1.8 on 23 so I can get a baseline and then just start working from 23? Y'all see, it just went from 800 to like 1900 like that. Maybe 1.8 is the vibes. Maybe 2.2 is the vibes. Yeah, 2.2 is the vibes. 2.2 is the vibes, y'all. I'm gonna keep the stop loss where it's at. I ain't gonna hold you. But I need to move the profit factor or the super trend factor back to 2.2. Review and use grep and arc. Then update the journal. Then let's discuss. All right, I'm gonna go back to 2.2. Then we're gonna go ahead and run it on 2023 so we can get a baseline. That is the vibes. That's the vibes. That doing great stuff. All right, perfect. Now it's going to update the journal. So now that AI is done, all right, do the next one. Beautiful. I'm glad I could just type that. So we know 1.8 is in it. 2.2 is the vibes. I told you. Let's go back to the ST factor of 2.2. Keep the SL where it is at, and let's test on 2023. Why was it? The stop loss of 1.8 is too tight. The whipsaw, right? False signals. That's what whipsaw is. False signals. 4.2 is too aggressive. Stopped out on normal pullback. All right, beautiful. No, I'm gonna keep the stop loss where it's at because I think we're still. I mean, it's still under 20, so I'm glad we're able to make it stable under 20. But I still think we could be a little bit more aggressive. So I'm running the back test for the first time on 2023. So I'm interested to see how this is going to work out. What do you all think? Do y'all think it's going to be better than 24? Is it going to be just about the same, or is it going to be worse? I don't know. It's my first time running it on it. But it looks like the strategy is coming together bit by bit. So while this is loading, let's go look at the steps we take, right? So we got the strategy from, okay, hold on, let me shut up. Damn, every time I want to go through this, I'm going to go through it. Don't worry, so we can go through the steps taken so you can see what we've done in order to get to this point. All right, let me shut up. The back test is running. The back test is running, y'all. Remember, we've seen this before, but can it survive? Y'all see this though, right? Y'all see this. Y'all saw the headache. We was going. Holy shit! Again, I just blanked. Y'all saw the headache we was going through for the first half of 24. All right, what's different? I got to figure out what's different. The first 6 months of 2024 was just freaking horrendous for the strategy. Right now, look what it's doing. It's damn near about to bust 2,000. This is the first 6 months of 2023. Strategy's flying. I told you the stop loss at 14 was where it's at. I told you. 59%. Best trade was $600. Worst trade was $133. It went from $100 to $1,800. It peaked at $2,100. Right? So let's see what the back half of the year. Now this will be interesting if they flip. Right? Remember how in 2024 the first half was kind of bad. It was bad, and the back half was great. Now it'll be interesting to see if 2023 the first half was good, back half is bad. I don't know. Let's see. This is interesting. It's kind of fun too. I'm not going to hold you. All right, let's see. Didn't I predict it? Hold on, let me shut up. That's wild, fam. What are we missing? Fight back. Fight back. That's wild. Y'all saw what I just saw. So, fight back. Come on, fight back. Fight back. All right. So I predicted it, right? We have just about what happened in 2024. The training was horrible and the validation was good. Now the validation is horrible and the training is good. Let's see what the hell. What the hell? Review and let's discuss. After you update the trading journal. That's interesting, man. That's real interesting. That's real interesting how that worked out. I didn't expect that to happen, but the fact that it did, we just got some things to learn from. Let's see what the data is telling us. Let's see what the data is telling us, fam. All right, here we go. Check balance progression. Yeah, and that thing exploded out of nowhere. Peak was 21, 2,123 and 44. Now I see the peak was 2123 at 106 trades June 7th. Then it was destroyed it down to 75. Flummoxing. Flummoxing. Interesting. I think to go look up these words and let's see what flummoxing. Flummoxing, perplexed, a greatly bewildered. Origin was so flummoxed. You're perplexed, you're bewildered, you're confused. Flummoxed. Oh, my fault. I'm tripping. I'm sorry. All right. Strategy regime dependent. And that's what I like. So there's two type of strategies, not really two, but a few different types of strategies, right? So let me just shut up. Let's just keep reviewing. H1 trending made 2100. H2 choppy lost 9600. H1 choppy modest gain, trending massive gain. So moving average plus super trend equals trend following system. It gets destroyed on train and range of bound markets. Option forward is at a regime filter to skip the choppy periods or reduce the position sizing during downturns and or accept it in trade. What direction do you want to go? First, let's do the next. And then I have a couple of ideas. What are y'all thinking? What direction do you think we should go? Right? If you have any ideas, go ahead and drop it in the chat. This is an open forum, open community, open forum. Oh, you know what I didn't try yet? What if we were to mess around with this entry window? I think that's what I'm going to try next. Maybe I'm going to drop it. I'm going to go from I'm going to go to 935 to 1128. So 935 to 1128. And then I want to keep this the same. Maybe. Okay, these are the two I want to do. So 9. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. You can close out. Thank you. So update the entry start time to 9:35 a.m. and then end time to 11:28 a.m. and then ST period to 3 and keep everything else the same. All right, beautiful. I think this is going to slide. I think this is going to slide. All right, let me copy that. Update steps taken. All right. All right, while that's running, let's like quickly, because y'all know how quickly this backtest can load. So let's look at the steps taken, right? So we took the strategy and we built it from TradingView. So I took a Pine script from TradingView, and this is the best super trend moving average by Dayvat. This is a moving average crossover plus the super trend. Then we have the parameter selection. Then we have the session rules, the exit rules, position sizing, option filtering, option selection system. Okay, shit. Okay. I'm going to be a little bit more quicker, so just keep up with me. All right. Back test. Then we built the back test. And then version 1, version 2, version 3, version 4. And now here's where we are. All right. Let me shut up. Here's the back test is running. All right, so let's see what's going to happen. Let's see if it maintains its level. Now we know that the training is fall superior. Let's see if it maintains its levels. Shit, let's see if it even gets. Damn, it just went from 400 to 295. All right, y'all saw. Okay, that was massive. Okay, I have to check that out. So here it went from $500, and then we cashed out. Damn, I gotta go look at that trade. Oh, maybe we did get better. Come on. Come on. I don't know. 60%. Best trade 595, 170. Okay, 147, 183. That 62% draw max drawdown is still kind of high. I'm not gonna hold you. We need to improve upon that. All right, here is the moment of truth. Here is really the moment of truth and what I'm looking at. Here's really going to decide, did we get better? I think it may be just a let me shut up. Let's wait. Hmm. I mean, it did get marginally better. It did get marginally better, right? I mean, it's not like explosive as training, but it did get marginally better. So let's review. All right, I still have another idea. Y'all see how AI, bruh, ain't even giving me. I mean, yeah, it is, but it isn't. Review and let's discuss after updating the journal. Oh, since we didn't even look at the journal yet, let's go look at this real quick while it's doing this work over here. Here's our journal. The parameters, the performance. All right. It's not like you're spazzing out or anything. All right, here we go. Issues analyzed. The time stop dominates. Most trades expire without hitting the take profit or the stop loss. The win rate is, oh, that's version 1. What version? Let's look at version 5. Okay. Critical finding. The strategy is market regime dependent. Strong trending market, the strategy thrived, but in a chopping range of bound market, the strategy collapsed, gave back all of its gains. Oh, we just opened up. Okay. Now let's talk. Let's go ahead and talk. Come on. Oh, so Vandy did win today too. All right. H2. H2 cut down in half. Perfect directional balance. More trades. Still a problem. It peaked at 22,000, but we ended at $91. 96 drawdown, right? The strategy makes money in a trending period, H1, oh, yep, and H4, but gives back all of its money in a choppy period. Run, nope. All right, let's think about this. Should I try? And again, this is something completely different. Let's see. Let's see. Oh. Oh, there was a bit of improvement. So I guess all right. I'm kind of resistant to it, but I'm gonna do 3.5 minutes. I really didn't want it to, but I'm gonna do 3.5 minutes. And then what else? And then we're gonna try. Let's try 3. Um, I really like 212. 212 is where it's at. I'm not gonna hold you. But all right, well, let's try something different. Let's try 2. Let me try 214. No, let me try 2 8. Let me try 2.8. All right. So move max hold time, move to 3.5, and then MA1, um MA2, move to 8. Because it was at 5 before. All right, beautiful. And keep everything else the same. All right, perfect. Perfect. All right, let's do the next one. All right, let's just make sure like you ain't bullshitting me. Okay, perfect. Okay, beautiful. Update steps taken, and then I can close you. Close you. Let's go ahead and run it. All right, perfect, man. Perfect. What do y'all expect? Do y'all expect something better? Do y'all expect something worse? It'll be interesting to see. Let's see how this works out. Let's see how this pans out for your boy. Let's see how this pans out, fam. And if y'all do have any questions, please don't be afraid to ask them. Y'all ever had that teacher? It's ask. It's not ask. It's ask. I'm sorry. Gave me a little PTSD. All right, let's go. Strategy is running. Now we know about the training period. So let's see if it holds this, it maintains. Let's see if it maintains. Damn, it didn't maintain like at all. I told you 212 is a lick, bro. I told you 212. Yeah, no, I didn't maintain. I'm not even gonna hold you. Nope, I'm not even going to waste your time. I'm not even gonna waste your time, fam. Let's go back to MA 212 and keep everything else the same. That's crazy, right? That's crazy. I told you 212 is a vibe. All right, bet. Now let's run it and let's see. Let's run it and let's see. Yeah, I wasn't gonna have y'all go through that. And for that to be a horrible flop. But I'm not gonna hold you. I mean, we're almost building, but I'm kind of, I don't know. I'm saving 2022 until we have something that's a little bit more robust across all 4 periods. Once we have something that's a little bit more robust across all 4 periods, then I'll run it on 2022. We all know 2022 is extremely bearish year, right? So when we talking about this strategy can't survive on choppy or range bound markets, 2022 typifies that. So that'll be crazy. So we moved it back to 212. Y'all see what happened? And I increased the maximum hold time to 3.5 minutes instead of the 2.5. So let's see if that does any great things. You feel me, fam? Y'all see how, damn, that's crazy. You know what? Oh, damn, he's went from 900. Come on. Let's see if we can break 2,500. Oh, this may be the best one yet. Let me stop talking. Hold on. Damn, that's crazy. Look, you may have found something, ladies and gentlemen. It just crossed 3,000 in 6 months now. 6 months. All right, I'm gonna stop. Come on, you giving back too much money though. You still giving back too much money. Best trade is $1,000. Worst trade was 346. Profit factor is 185. Drawdown still could be a little bit better. It went from 100 to 28. That's not bad. Where it peaked at? We peaked at 36. We're still giving back too much money, man. This is the question. This is the moment of truth. I need to see how well the validation period does. If this is doing better, then we're creating something that's a lot more robust, right? We're going to be creating something that's a lot more robust. So let's see. All right, come on. What are y'all seeing? Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. 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 All right, I got an idea. Um, I have an idea. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, fam. Let me copy. Let's go ahead and paste. Let's take this review. Review using grep and arc. Then update the journal. Then let's discuss. All right, perfect. Damn, I was about to say it was about to compact. So you know what? I think I want to run one more back test with y'all. And I really do appreciate y'all sticking around and being with me here. And then I want to put this at a stopping point. Because I don't want this video to go over too long. Because I just noticed I'm at 2 hours right now. So we're going to do one more parameter adjustment, and then I'm going to run the back test one more time. But this time I'm going to run it on 24. And then we're going to see how well either it's performing well or not. And then I'm going to use that. Then that's going to be our stopping point. And I'm going to pick this up again with y'all tomorrow, right? I'm just going to just do back to back. I want to get this in, get this done, and get this in. All right, let's do it for the next one. And I'm probably going to be a little bit earlier. I'm not going to hold you. Maybe like around 9:30, 10 a.m. I don't know. All right, beautiful. All right. So y'all know I really do have an idea that okay. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. This right here. Oh, wait. Toggle the IV weight on and let's gauge it and how it works. Yeah, let me do that. Let me see how that works. Yeah, because this has been I thought this was on. True. Yeah, let's run it with this on. Let's see how that works first. Idea with the IV scoring system, liquidity still dominant, responsive, execution, volatility ID. Okay. Yep. Perfect. Now let's run it. This will be interesting. All right, let's see how this works out. Let's see if the training still holds up. And let's see if validation still holds up. And again, I want to use it, and this is going to be a perfect stopping point. And then we're going to pick this up tomorrow to be able to finish out this bot or finish out this strategy. Sometimes you got to just sit back and reset. I mean, but this is good. We've made a lot of great strides. I'm not going to hold you from being able to build out the foundation of it and then being able to get a strategy that went from negative $12 to damn near like almost 100 times that, 1,000 times that, right? So let's see how well this performs. And what I've done, I just turned on the IV toggle that wasn't used before. It's still giving back a little bit too much money for my liking. I'm not going to hold you. It still had that explosive jump. But can we maintain the line? I need you to maintain it. Come on, get there. Maintain it. It's like it wants to get to 3,000. Let's go quickly look. I don't know. 65%. Best trade was 1,000. Worst trade 300. We went from $100 to 2,600. We peaked at 33. Still giving back. Now this is really where I want to see if this if it's going to have an impact here. All right, maybe I'll run one more back test because that really wasn't a param. I mean, it really was, but it wasn't. I don't know if it really had an impact. You know, more or less. I don't know. So let's see. I think I should make the stop loss even tighter. Right now it's at 14. Maybe I should try 12. Let's see. This is interesting. Can you hold the line? Can you hold the line though, bro? This is something, man. This is something. $54%. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. Review and let's discuss after updating the journal. Oh, that's what's up, man. I need Cal to win. I really do need Cal to win. I think Cal could pull it off. If Cal beats SMU, that'll be super dope. Yeah, let me just keep this game on real quick. That's what's up, man. All right. Now, let's do the next one. Yep, you're Gucci. Now we can move that over. Yeah, I'm thinking about making the stop loss a little tighter. So going from 14 to 12. Touchdown. So that's 24-7. All right, man. I need y'all to complete this game. What a touchdown, Cole Boisa. All right. So here's what I'm thinking. Let me know what you think. I want to drop this stop loss from 14 to 12. What I also want to do is I'll keep the maximum hold time to 3.5. That's fine. I have no qualms with that. What I want to adjust now, something keeps poking me back over here. Oh fuck. You don't need that. Something really okay. So what I want to do is all right. Let's drop the stop loss from what is it? From 14 to 12, and then the min premium 0.15, and then premium max premium to 0.70. No, 60. Let me keep it 60. Yep. And keep everything else the same. All right, bet. So I love this. And this is going to be our last back test that we're going to run today. I mean, depending, I don't know if I get great results, I may just keep going. If I get great results, I may just keep going. I like this. I like this. Wait, did it have any impact though? Almost identical results. The strike selection is fine. The problem is the signal, not the contracts we picked. What we learned in May periods, no fix, amplifies both directions, marginal. Premium range helps somewhat. The session window, marginal. IV, marginal. The whole time amplifies both. Okay. The truth is the trend following strategy. It will make huge gains in trending markets and give back in choppy markets. No parameter tuning solve this. You need either a regime filter. Okay, that makes sense. Only trade when trending, except in position sizing to justify trending, or a different strategy signal entirely. This regime filter is probably what we're going to do. But let's see. Let's see. And I'm going to build that out tomorrow. I'm not going to hold you. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to build that out tomorrow. So let's see how this works out. We have a couple. So what we just did is I updated the stop loss from 14 to 12 and also updated the premium from 10 to 15 and then the max to 60. So let's see how this works out. I appreciate y'all for being here. If you do have any questions, my name is Creative. What we do here is create different algo strategies, trading bots, machine learning, files, AI agents. So anything that's cool when it comes to coding, I try to be able to bring it to y'all. I've only been doing this since about, okay, let me shut up. All right, here we go. So let's see. Now remember, the training is good. It's the validation. It's the last 6/2 of the months I want to see. And what we've done here is I made the stop loss a little tighter. And then we increased the min and the max premium. So let's see the impacts of this. Oh, damn, this thing still jumped. Come on. Come on. Okay, I mean, I don't know how I feel about this. Yo, Mike, what's going on? I hope you had a great Thanksgiving and all. Working on a new strategy here for mini spy. All right, beautiful. And we're back testing it now. I mean, right now I'm seeing kind of somewhat okay results. So it's interesting. But man, hey, you're catching us on the back half of it. Ah, perfect. I'm glad that you had a great Thanksgiving. Super excited to hear this. You're catching us like right in the middle of this thing. Right now I've adjusted a few things for this new strategy to see how well it performs. So let me know if you do have any questions. But hey, I'm thinking about I may be out of here like in another 5 or 10 minutes, right? So but I will be back here tomorrow to pick up where I left off here, to be able to finish this strategy. It's almost done. There's just a few parameters that we still need to tweak in order to get it to levels where we're going to make the bot. And I'm going to be making this bot. Oh, hold on. It's still giving back way too much money. I'm going to be making this bot using trading, not Thinkorswim, right? So I'm super excited about that one. Yeah, still giving back too much money. Oh, that's what's up. I hope all is going well, and I hope your projects are going well too. See, barely. I don't know. This one I'm not liking too much. I'm not liking this one too much. I think I'm just going to go back to the other one. Review, update journal, and let's discuss. All right, perfect. So, what it's doing right now, we're updating our journal with the results of the back test. And then let's gauge how well that has worked. That's what's up. That is, oh, you know what? It's done with that. Let's go ahead and get this filed away. All right, let's do the next files. Perfect. All right, so let's check this out. What we found is this tighter stop loss plus higher premium is more stable. The H2 drawdown reduced by 10%. The vinyl balance improved, but H1 also reduced. V1 had the best final balance, the smallest loss, even though it didn't have the highest peaks. Run V point. Okay. No, these are things that we're going to be doing tomorrow. So again, I'm going to use this as a stopping point, and then I'm going to be picking up our work tomorrow with the strategy that we're building out here. So again, Mike, if you do have some time, come join us tomorrow so we can finish out this strategy. And I wish you all best with the project that you're working on. Again, sorry that and I know like we're all busy. So again, come check us out tomorrow. I'm gonna finish out this work, and then I'm gonna use this as a good stopping point because again, I don't want these videos to get a little bit too long. But nonetheless, man, it is your boy Creative. I really thank y'all for sticking by. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you again on another.